This is gonna be. This guy is like right in front of me. I'm gonna wait.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Grape Day Park and the California Center for the Arts Escondido. My name is John Haynes, and I'm the president of the Arts Center. I want to welcome you to a continuation of the celebration of the 223rd birthday of the land that we love. I don't think that there are very many more patriotic ways to do it than to listen to the great patriotic music of our band today. So I hope you enjoy the performance. I hope you all get an opportunity to take a tour of the center, perhaps visit the museum today. I hope you enjoy the performance. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'd now like to introduce
Marine Corps Band, Camp Pendleton, and we thank you for coming and sharing your music with us tonight. And we are going to enjoy every minute and every note that you play, and as we celebrate our birthday. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Commanding General, the 1st Marine Division, Major General Gregory Newbold, it is my honor to present the pride of the division, the 1st Marine Division Band, under the direction of Gunnery Sergeant Teresa Browndorf. Now, if you'll all please stand for the playing of our nation's anthem. Well, good evening, everybody. What a glorious, glorious evening it is tonight. My name is George Chamberlain. I'm with KSDO Radio and NBC 739 Television, and it is just awesome to look out here tonight and see so many people in the park enjoying this great music. And John Haynes asked me to mention a couple of things in particular. First of all, please thank the City of Escondido and the North County Times, I hope you read my column every Friday, for sponsoring this event so you could all be here free tonight. Thank them very, very much for that. My job tonight is to tell you a little bit about the music you're going to be hearing. I'll try to keep it as brief and as simple as I can because you're here to hear the music, not to hear me. But I think there's some things that will make it a little bit more enjoyable if you know what you're hearing. For instance, the first piece that you heard tonight is a piece called the Festive Overture. It's a great way to start off an evening of great American patriotic music with an overture written by a Russian composer. I think that's, I think that's pretty good. But what it shows is that the language of music really has no boundaries and really can be appreciated around the world, and certainly we should appreciate that on a day like today. Now we're going to cut right through all the other stuff and go right to Sousa. I mean, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go right there, okay? Let me tell you a little bit about the first piece. The piece is called Hail to the Spirit of Liberty, which is kind of an interesting piece. It has the distinction of being one of the very few marches that was premiered overseas before it was performed stateside. It was first being performed at the unveiling of the Lafayette Monument in France. It's very appropriate for it to be a celebration of freedom here in this country with a march that salutes the spirit of liberty. The music of John Philip Sousa. Could have been in a coma for 25 years and known that was John Philip Sousa, right? Pretty easy to identify. The next piece that we're going to, oh, by the way, one of the other duties of a Master of Ceremonies is to carry out the very important task of telling you that we have found a set of car keys. So if you are trying to get home tonight and all of a sudden you've looked everywhere and you can't find them, go around to the back of the center. There is a lost and found area at the very back of this big giant building here, and that's where your keys are waiting for you. So that's another important duty of the Master of Ceremonies. I want to tell you about another famous American composer, William Schumann. He wrote a piece called the Chester Overture that's based upon a tune born from the pen of William Billings. And during the American Revolutions, this sort of was considered the unofficial first national anthem of our country because it captured the spirit of the Continental Army. As a matter of fact, if you kind of close your eyes and just sit back and listen to this, you can almost picture the muskets firing, the smell of gunpowder, and the brave cries of our nation's youth as they fought for our freedom. The music of William Schumann. You're all being real good tonight, and you're being very generous. But I would like to hear a little bit more applause when you acknowledge these people who are working so hard on this stage up here and what they do. They're wonderful people. We are blessed. We are indeed blessed. Oh, by the way, I have one other announcement that we've had several people asking about this. The porta potties are over there, so if you're having a little trouble, that's where you want to hit. Tell you about our next piece of music. Located in the outskirts of a city called Philadelphia, a rather famous city in the history of this country. By the way, you've been hearing about the weather report back on the East Coast today? This weekend, about 110 degrees, but the humidity's only 95, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Aren't we glad to be here? On the outskirts of Philadelphia, close to the birthplace of our nation and the Marine Corps, is a little place called Willow Grove Park. It's very popular. It was once very popular for its summer concerts. The most famous group that performed at Willow Grove was the Sousa Band. In fact, Sousa's band considered their summer home, this to be their summer home, away from home, from about 1901 to 1928. In appreciation, Sousa... America We, and it was written and dedicated to all of us, The music, if you would, of Henry Fillmore. great military music. That's great military music. When I'm sitting backstage, I can't see too much out at the crowd, and there's like a wall here, and I can sort of see through it, and all I can see is like the feet in the front row, and everybody's feet were just like going crazy on that song. That was very, very cool. It looked very neat. Let's talk about a song that was written back in 1885. 1885 has a great history. It was written by a gentleman by the name of Frank Meacham. The song obviously, of course, had a great revival during World War II. And even if, and I know we have a lot of men and women here who were involved and were so involved with our country at that point in time, but it really sort of took on even another life after that with the making of a great movie that starred Jimmy Stewart, of course, and it was the Glenn Miller story. And this piece of music is called American Patrol. And it was in 1942, that's right, yep, 1942, that's when Glenn Miller arranged it for his big band, and that was about the same time that another band was being formed, another division was being formed, and that was the 1st Marine Division. I did a concert with this group a couple of months ago inside this building, and I think I'm safe in saying that they love playing this music. So please get in the spirit with this as we celebrate this great piece of American music, American Patrol. that is soloist Chad Jenkins, and on the trumpet, soloist Chris Martin. Give him a big round of applause. There you go. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. You know, it's kind of unfortunate, and we hear this all the time. It's too bad that we have to have, you know, we designate one day a year to kind of think about the freedom that we have. My wife and I are going to go down to the airport tonight and pick up our daughter Sarah, who's going to be coming back from 6 weeks in Spain. We tried to move while she was gone, but couldn't get the house sold fast enough. But I know the first thing she's going to say after she asks for some money is, gosh, it's good to be home. It's good to be back home. And she doesn't mean home to San Diego, home to San Marcos. She means it's good to be home. It's good to be home. And the reason she feels that way is because of all the freedoms and all the liberties that we have. Tell you a little story about the next piece of music. This commodity that we call freedom is dear, and it often was paid for with the blood of many, many Americans. Marines have been called to serve in harm's way over the years, and no other poet has expressed their appreciation to the nation better than Catherine Lee Bates, who wrote a poem called America the Beautiful. This piece ran a very close second, by the way, to the Star-Spangled Banner in becoming our nation's anthem. So please enjoy America the Beautiful. I hope you were hearing the words with the music. That's what I was doing. I was hearing the words with the music. Hope you all had the same experience. All right, we're going to break away a little bit from the music we've been presenting to do something a little bit different that I think will be kind of fun. Everybody seen the Phantom Menace, the new Star Wars thing? That's a big movie this summer. And of course, the music written for that movie is the same music written by the same composer who has written all of the other Star Wars films and many, many other great movies along the way as well. And that, of course, is John Williams. The band tonight is going to do something very different. Gunny Browndorf has chosen an arrangement of music from the Star Wars sequel, which was the one that came out before this one, which was the prequel. I get all confused on this anyway. This is from The Empire Strikes Back. So, as they like to say, with the band and with all of you, may the Force be with you. Well, how very appropriate after a song from a great movie like Star Wars that we now kick it into patriotic warp speed. Get ready, because we're going to really kick it here. Back in 1976, Congress, and they do get a few things right every once in a while, made this the official march of the United States. It's, of course, a piece of music from John Philip Sousa, and it's the Stars and Stripes Forever. It was good to see you all come to your feet there, because we're going to end the show with a little bit of friendly rivalry out there, okay? We're going to do a medley now, and if you've never been in an audience, if you've never been anywhere where this has been done, you don't know the goosebumps you are about to experience, folks. Trust me on this one, okay? We're going to do a medley of service songs right now, and when we play the song that represents the branch of the military that you served in, a spouse served in, a friend of yours served in, somebody you know served in, I want you on your feet screaming and yelling and shouting and we'll identify each one just in case you're not sure. You'll know immediately, by the way. I won't have to come back on the stage and tell you when we have the Marine Corps anthem. So let's begin with a great medley of music, the medley of songs from the military branches.
Wait, that means I have to stand.
The United States Army. The United States Navy. The United States Coast Guard. The United States Air Force.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to give a special thank you to the California Center for Performing Arts here at Escondido and for Nocana Times for help sponsoring us, and all the people, Donna Floor, etc., that helped make this possible. Also, George Chamberlain, who does this out of the goodness of his heart, doing the MC. So thank you very much, Steve. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and have yourself a nice holiday weekend. Thank you.